Sacramento State has a new leader. Dr. Robert Nelson was appointed as the university's 8th president after serving at the University of Texas Pan American. He joins me next on Studio Sacramento.
At Five Star Bank, community is at the heart of what we do. Every day we strive to have thoughtful solutions for our customers and help our communities prosper. Honest dialogue about the issues affecting the region is vitally important to that prosperity. We are proud to be part of the conversation and hope you'll join in.
Dr. Nelson, what was your first day of school like?
It was an amazing day. We started out the day by meeting with the students. I wanted to send a message to everybody that I was going to be about the students, that Sacramento State was going to be about the students. Then we went down to the Capitol and met with legislators down there because we wanted them to give us more money, and they did. We ended up with a much better budget than we thought we were going to end up with. And then we met with alumni, and then we met with Capital Radio, and then we met with a bunch of donors. It was just an amazing first day.
I'm fascinated by the fact that you have to be a contrarian. All we talk about here in California, and particularly up here in the Capital Region, is Texas stealing away our best and brightest. It appears that you've migrated in the opposite direction. What brought you to Sacramento State?
Sac State brought me here. Okay, it's the diversity of the university. We are the 15th most diverse university in the West. It is the students that are there, and they're first-generation students. I'm a first-generation person. It's the ability to lift this whole region up. It is the notion of the next economy and really working with the community there. It is Sacramento 3.0, being a hub of innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship.
Looking at this place through new eyes, tell us, when you were considering Sac State, what did you see here that really made you say, wow, this is a place where I can make a contribution and there's something here to do?
And Jody and I did a secret shopping trip up here to decide.
A secret shopping trip?
Yeah, we weren't supposed to come up here, but we came up because, you know, this is my future. This is our lives. Is this where we want to be? What I saw when I got up here, I went to Saigon Bay Express on our campus. Best pho bowl you'll ever eat. It's Vietnamese. It was really good. But talking to the students at that point, hearing their enthusiasm, seeing how much they loved the university, but also seeing that they weren't graduating on time, that it was taking them way too long, and knowing that we could make a difference. Seeing the kids come in, and there are too many kids on remediation that are not ready yet, knowing that we could work with the high schools and help them. This was just the perfect place for me and for Jody.
You have a reputation in being a problem solver. Give us a sense of the task that's before you right now.
We have a graduation rates of 9%.
Wait, 9%?
For 4 years. And 43% to 46%, depending on what year you're looking at, for 6 years.
No offense, that's breathtakingly bad.
It is horrific, and we have to change that. We have to change it in 3 different ways, okay? First off, we've got to help the high schools and the grade schools. You've got to get all the way down to the grade schools. But we've got to help them better prepare our students so that they really are college ready. And yesterday I met with Superintendent Bonda to talk about that and talk about what we can do with them.
Superintendent Bonda, Sac City Unified,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. And once the students are here, we've got to make sure that they graduate in a timely fashion. We did not have, and we will have next year, electronic degree plans for them so that they could look and see what classes they need to take. We didn't have any way to be able to look and decide what classes we need to teach. We were just doing it by the seat of our pants. Now we'll have a degree plan that we can look at, and we'll have another electronic device that will read those degree plans and tell us how many students need to be in X or Y or Z class, and we'll get the classes there. so that they can graduate in timely fashion.
Well, let me slow down and just interrupt you on this point about the graduation. 8% graduation rate. 9%. Sorry, I'm
not much better.
I'm not trying to bring it further down. But what I'm trying to understand is when the recession hit and the state cut back a lot of funding to the Cal State system, it lengthened timelines. What I'm trying to understand is how much of that 9% is due to the problem of students coming in unprepared, and so they have to go through remedial programs, and how much of that is that they just can't get the classes?
It's a combination of two, and both of them are equal, absolutely equal. When you have 56% of the students having to take remediation courses, that means 56% of your students are not prepared. When you are not graduating the students on time, that's because you haven't given them the classes that they need to be able to graduate.
As a parent and a taxpayer, that is just a horrible indictment of sort of how we're producing students out of the public school system. And I know that they've had their own challenges with funding, but was it always this bad, or is this a recent phenomenon?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I haven't only been here for 35 days, so I'm still figuring things out.
Is it like this in Texas?
It was. In Texas, we had 47% of our students that were in remediation when I first got to UT Pan American, but when I left, we had 16%. So we lowered it over almost 30% by really being active with the high schools, by being there and helping them, by providing the courses that they needed on time, by making certain that we were communicating. Advising is so important, and advising gets cut in times of recession. So that's why we're establishing e-advising, electronic advising for our students now, so that we can reach out and touch more students.
Now, you are a bit of a package deal. Your wife, Jody, was a senior executive in higher education as well in Texas. And she's independently known as a force to be reckoned with. Tell us a little bit about her and how that partnership works.
She's my very best friend, and she's been my best friend for 40 years. And I'll try not to choke up. She's just an amazing woman. She was the vice president for business affairs at 2 universities. She gave up that career to work with me as a partner to be able to help the university. In the Valley, the Rio Grande Valley, she was the head of the food bank, the president of the food bank board, and the food bank there is so important. They serve 43,000 meals a week.
A week?
A week, okay, for people, because the poverty is just tremendous there. And so she dedicated herself to that. And now she's here. She's hanging pictures today. Because we moved in the house in East Sac, we're excited about it. But she will start volunteering here as well. She's already started working with the food pantry on our campus.
I noticed that there seems to be some sort of new food initiative for students going on.
Yeah, our students are needy. We have students who are homeless. We have students who live in cars. Yes. I'll give one example, and I don't think he would be upset if I did it. Eric Guerra, he's a student who graduated from us, and now he's a city councilman. When he was on our campus, he had to live on his car. And look what he's become. Sac State transforms lives. That's why I wanted to be here. It transformed his life, and we're going to transform the lives of 6,500 students every year that we graduate.
And what do you think is Sac State's role within this region that it resides within as a partner, as a part of the community?
Well, I think it's in our mission statement, and our mission statement says it perfectly. As California's capital university, we are the university of the capital, okay? We transform lives by preparing students for success, leadership, and service. And that's what we're going to do, and that's where we're going to focus ourselves.
And are there things about Sac State that most of the region that surrounds it just doesn't realize about it?
Let me give you 3 examples, okay? Number 1, if you come to Sac State and you want to get a job, you're going to get a job when it's done. You're going to get a great education along the way. You know that because you're made at Sac State. You're a graduate.
I was, yes, probably the student that attended Sac State the longest in pursuit of their degree, but yes, I was made at Sac State.
Yes, you ruined my graduation rates. That's why they're 9%. It's because of you.
I was very popular though because I was always at the bottom end of the curve.
But if you come there, of all of the universities in the United States, and there's 600 to 700 universities, our students graduate and they are ranked 59th in the salaries that they get. 59th.
59th in the country.
In the country, okay? So they're going out. What I worry about is we're exporting them to other places. We need to keep them in Sacramento. That's why we need to work with Next Economy. That's why we need to work with the Sacramento 3.0 so that we really create jobs. That's one. 2, our students do 2 million hours of community service every year. That is more than about any place else. Even before I was thinking about Sacramento State, I read about us because we've been on the President's Honor Roll for 5 years for community engagement. We really are involved in the community out there and are active in what we're doing. 3, we're graduating 6,500 students every year. 1 in 20 people in this region is an alumni of Sacramento State.
I don't think most people know that.
No, we're in the blood of this city.
What do you think that Sac State needs to do more of in order for that message to get out and for the region to realize the value that the campus is providing?
We need to tell our story better, just like Sacramento needs to tell its story better. This is a great city and we are a great university.
Stop right there for a sec. Sacramento needs to, we'll come back to Sac State telling its story better. What do you mean Sacramento needs to tell its story better?
You asked me when we were talking earlier what surprised me here. What surprised me is how great this city is, but that nobody talks about how great this city is. It's got a great cultural venues all over the place. It's got music. It's got some of the best restaurants I've ever been in my life. It's got the state capitol, but yet we seem to always think
What would
of
you
ourselves as
compare it to in
stepchild.
Texas?
It's Austin.
Austin.
It is Austin. I mean, we've got K Street, they've got 6th Street. Okay, we've got Sac State, they got UT Austin. We've got the American River and the Sacramento River. They've got, they renamed it Lady Bird Lake, after LBJ's wife. Okay, all of the things are the same, but Austin really trumpets itself. It's time for us to stand up and say, hey, this is a great place. I think it is. I'm just amazed going on the trails. I'm amazed going downtown. It's just a wonderful place.
You know what amazes me is I travel a lot throughout the country, and increasingly one of the things that comes back to me when people know that I'm from this region is they say, you guys have some of the best restaurants around.
Oh, I happen to be a vegetarian, so it means that I have to look at various foods and everything else. I've eaten some of the best food, I mean the freshest food, some of the very best food in the world at a whole series of restaurants, and I'd like to plug them all, but I shouldn't do that.
It's okay, you can give one. Where you and Jody's go-to place?
Oh, Mulvaney's.
Okay.
And it's really, LA
choice.
is also really wonderful, but we found a little Thai restaurant the other day that was just really good.
Oh, well, we'll talk after the show about that because I always want to know about those. When you talk about Sacramento 3.0 and Next Economy, give us a sense of what your plans are for connecting the university's mission to the broader effort to increase prosperity in this region?
We have to be an economic engine for the community. We have a great strategic plan right now, but we have not yet linked it to the next economy or to Sacramento 3.0. That's what we will get done in the first 90 days that I'm here. Really link it to, so that we're working with all of the various companies. We've got to bring in new companies. We've got to create jobs. As I said, there's too much brain drain. We need to keep the students here. So we have to work with as many as we can.
In your travels, in trying to keep the students here, there's the job component for it that is always at play. Are there some other things you've learned in your travels that are not necessarily job related that we could be doing better in order to make this region more sticky to your graduates so that they do stay here?
Well, you have to have a place where people feel comfortable and want to be at home. We are really good at Sacramento State with our music, with our arts, and with all of those cultural elements. We've got to reach out and create a better cultural, environment so that everybody feels at home in that way, and we can do that. We're going to reach out to our alumni and invite our alumni back. Not enough people come to campus. They come to campus to go through campus and to get over to the American River, okay? I want them to stay on campus. We're going to create signature events so that they want to be there and have fun. Our sports, our athletics, and things like that. Where's football going to be played here? Well, we got the Sacramento Kings, and they're great, although I like the Hornets better, okay? The Sac State Hornets.
We'll talk about that after the show, too. All right.
But we're the only football in town, folks. So if you want to see football, come campus and you'll see football. You want to see baseball? Yeah, there's the River Cats, and they're great and everything else. But, the Hornets won the WAC tournament, okay, last year. So they're really good. So come be on campus.
The campus itself, as a part of the community, it's had a number of conversations about projecting itself out. Any thoughts on either new facilities, new locations, and distance learning?
We desperately need a science building, okay? The science building that we have now, you probably remember at Sequoia Hall. I've been here for 3 months, and 1 month, and we've had 3 leaks in the hall. We've got to update it. We're going to have a science building. I expect to make an announcement about that shortly, and probably in September. We also need to have an event center. We don't have a distinguished speakers series on our campus or here in the local area. We need that event center, not just for basketball, but to bring in the community so they can hear somebody come in and read their poetry or read their fiction. Or Bill Nye, the science guy, bring him in. The students love him, the community loves him. So a science building we need to work towards, and we need to work towards the event center. And some of our facilities are old. We need new classroom
What about off of campus? I've heard things about Placer County, some other initiatives or ideas. Anything about projecting off of the main campus at all?
Yes. Let's talk about Sacramento first, okay? We need a presence downtown, and we're already looking for space right now. So if anybody's out there that's got some space that wants to rent to us cheaply, come call me. We need space for our public policy programs and that. There's so many of our graduates that are working in the Capitol. They need to be able to get their master's degrees. We'll work in that area, public administration, public policy. We're looking at a site in Placer County where we could potentially have a campus up there. There are folks out there actively raising money for a campus up there. There's a real desire, and they are talking about donating 300 acres for a site outside of Roseville. So that's a possibility. There's also a possibility just on the other side of where we are on Ramona. There's an industrial park over there, and we're talking about putting a business incubator over there.
Do you worry at all about putting down all these sticks and bricks might be an old model, because there's a lot of discussion that everything's going online, and so the virtual campus is going to become more important than the physical campus over time. Any reaction?
Students will always need to be face-to-face with faculty members. You remember, and I bet I can get you to name 5 faculty members that really changed your lives. There will always be that need. We are changing though, okay? The library is a different library than it used to be. It now houses all sorts of electronic databases and that. And we're starting to use space in the library for meeting rooms and for classes and stuff like that, where we would have had books in the past. So things are changing, but everyone thought a little while ago that MOOCs were going to take over everything. A MOOC is a massive online course, okay? The truth is, a MOOC is nothing but a textbook. You still have to have somebody teach it. And so we'll always have faculty teaching. There'll be more online classes. That's how you save space. It sometimes is cheaper.
But it's not going to replace.
But it's not going to
human error.
replace.
Let's talk about you for a second. You have a saddle in your office and come from a rural background. Tell us where you come from.
I come from Montana. I come from poverty. My dad farmed me out to another ranch. When I was 10 years old, I would go there and I'd work there all day. I had to ride a horse about 3 miles to get there, and worked there all day, and I got paid in cash at the end of the day, $2.50 when I started. And I would come home and I'd put it on our kitchen table, and that's how we bought canned goods and everything else. We had the beef and we had venison and we had all of that, but we didn't have the money for canned goods.
Why is the saddle in your office?
The saddle is Calamity Jane's saddle.
The Calamity Jane.
The Calamity Jane. It was given to me by this wonderful man, Shorty Oliver, when he was 93 years old, because we didn't have enough money for 2 saddles. My dad had one, I didn't. He rode over on a tractor, came there, gave me this saddle. How did he get the saddle? When he was 16 years old, and I think this will be okay to say on TV, he ran away from the valley and joined a Wild West show. And Calamity Jane was the sharpshooter. He was a bottle washer. Calamity Jane got very drunk one night, took all of her clothes, rode through that camp with no clothing on. He took off his apron, put it around her, put her in bed, and the next morning she gave him the saddle.
Really?
He gave me the saddle. Now, I can't prove that's there, but her biography was written just about 6 years ago, and it tells the story of her taking all of her clothes off and go through.
What does that saddle mean to you?
It means 2 things, and 2 very important things. Without education, I should be shoeing horses. Without education, and I'm first generation, I would not be where I am. I am just like the students that I'm teaching, the students that I'm trying to help graduate, first generation students. That's number 1. It reminds me of it every day when I go in there. It keeps you humble. Number 2, it's the kindness of others, people giving back, that makes the difference. I know why I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job to give back for what Shorty Oliver did for me, and what all my teachers did for me, and what everybody else has done.
Well, talking about doing things for others, another passion of yours is working on suicide prevention issues. And I, many years ago, was a former counselor for suicide prevention here in Sacramento, and I know how that can be a lifeline for others. What brought you to that particular interest?
We lost our son to suicide. And, you know, that's the reality. People always ask us, do you have any children? And we always respond with it. Jody and I respond that we have 29,749 kids, meaning the university's kids.
Sac State.
Yes. That's why we do what we do. That's why we're at universities. I lost in the Valley at UT Pan American 5 students to suicide. You know, These are students, and that it hurts, and it hurt them, and it hurt their parents, and everything else. We talk about being survivors of suicide, and we are. But we can help others, and we can help prevent suicide in every way we can. We've got a great counseling center on our campus that Sac State is one of the first things I looked into to make sure that we're really reaching out to the students. So it's a passion.
In our final moments, I want you to go back to the first time that you stepped on campus and you and Jody are walking through. And if you were to take that moment and distill it down into one word that kind of encapsulated what your reaction to Sac State was, what it embodied, what would that be?
Home.
And we'll leave it there. Thank you, Dr. Nelson.
Thank you.
Okay. And that's our show. Thanks to our guest and thanks to you for watching Studio Sacramento. I'm Scott Syphax. See you next time right here on KVIE.
At Five Star Bank, community is at the heart of what we do. Every day we strive to have thoughtful solutions for our customers and help our communities prosper. Honest dialogue about the issues affecting the region is vitally important to that prosperity. We are proud to be part of the conversation and hope you'll join in.
All episodes of Studio Sacramento, along with other KVIE programs, are available to watch online at kvie.org/video.